this is Kim Sites doing another segment of My Mind Mondays. And on today's segment of My Mind Mondays, what I basically just want to cover is something that occurred this weekend. And as we know, I always try to, from time to time, cover current events. So unfortunately, if y'all didn't hear the news that rapper, actor, philanthropist DMX actually suffering an overdose. I don't know the particulars of the case of like what he overdosed on, but just for the fact that he overdosed is what I would just want to cover, because it's ironic that in my therapy session this weekend, like I said, this Thursday, I actually talked to my therapist, and we was just talking about addiction and problems itself. And we were just talking, and the thing that we said was, no matter how much you try to use drugs like alcohol as a way of masking your problems are still going to exist. And I even said it on my story on Sunday, and I was just basically just saying that, like, no matter what, you could try to drink, you could try to smoke, you could try to shoot up as much as you want to. That problem is still going to be there. You can hide all the problems that you have. You can try to deny all the problems that you have. But until you attack that problem head on, that problem is still going to be there. Like, I've talked about my addiction with alcohol. I've talked about how you have to be solution-based instead of just talking about our problems. And this is just another situation where we need to address our problems head on. Like, I could just recall this weekend, I'm not going to say no relative names, I'm not going to talk about the situation, but I was with one of my relatives, and unfortunately there was an event that transpired where they have their problems with suffering through addiction, but a major problem came to exist. And what I was basically just trying to tell them in this, bringing this all together, is instead of like just trying to deal with it and just trying to just handle the issue, which I understand some problems are just so difficult that we don't know how to deal with it. But instead of just trying to find a way how to talk about it and just trying to work on that issue, is trying to, figure out how to find a better outcome of the situation. Even though it was a dire situation, they reverted back to their addiction. And I'm not gonna lie, that made me upset. And that's the thing about it, though, because like, even though I wasn't heavily affected by what happened, and I'm not gonna talk about it, and I understand the issue and the problem and the situation that transpired was very, very deep and very painful. I'm not gonna deny that. But the fact that the person, my relative, very close relative to mine, reverted back to it, their addiction made the issue or the situation worse. And even though, like I said, I'm a third party to this situation and I'm not going to talk about it, but just for them just to do that made me feel upset. And now, instead of their problem being worked on, you see how it builds up to another additional problem. Like, there's been times like where I done had alcoholic beverages and I done had multiple drinks to the point where I've been hungover, and just to try to get over one feeling. But in reality of me thinking I'm gonna get over that one feeling, now I have tomorrow's regret. I mean, well, not tomorrow's regret, but yesterday's regret. Because instead of me working on that one problem I have another problem. Because sometimes, of course, like when we get under the influence, we do things that we regret. And so now we have to apologize and make up for decisions that we was uncontrollable, because when you're in that impaired state of mind, you can't control yourself as much. You're not controlling your thoughts. And I've said that before. And that's just one thing. And also, just like I said, like, attacking your issues head on. Like, no matter what the situation is, y'all, I have this one saying: tomorrow is going to come. Yes, it may seem hard. Yes, it may seem difficult. But just knowing if you walk in a straight line and path, no matter how difficult the situation may seem, tomorrow is going to come. So why not attack your issue head on? Because unfortunately, I know addiction is a disease. But at the end of the day, when you have additional problems, there's no mask that you could put over to hide them problems. Because when you wake up the next day, that problem is still going to be there. And that's just all I just want to cover, y'all. It's just that I understand, like, no matter how much you smoke, no matter how you drink, no matter how you shoot up, no matter how you pop pills, no matter how much you do all of these things just to mask this problem and try to hide this issue. You may think you in La La Land tonight, but tomorrow you wake up in hell. Or is it just hell, or is it really reality? And that's all I just want to ask y'all. Like, because sometimes we wake up, we go to sleep, everything's perfect. But we go to sleep, when we wake up, and we wake it up in hell. Or is it reality? And that's all I just want to say, y'all. Is just like, address your issues head on, instead of looking for a way to mask your problems up. And that's including addiction. And with that being said, y'all, this is Kimberly Sykes doing another segment of My Mind Mondays.